Hello guys, good morning all of you. We can discuss now about the structure of ovary. Structure of ovary, you know very well that ovary is the female gonads. Gonads, that means reproductive organs which are responsible for secretion of the sex hormones and release of the ovum. These ovaries are located at the upper core of the uterus, a shallow fossa of the pelvis. Shallow fossa that means depressive part of the ovary. And ovaries are attached with the uterus by a ligament is known as ovarian ligament. The measurement of the ovary is approximately 3 to 3.5 centimeter in length, 2 centimeter wide and 1 centimeter in thickness. In nulliparous women, nulliparous that means the female which cannot become pregnant yet. These nulliparous women, the ovary are located in vertical direction. This direction is the vertical direction. And in multiparous women, the ovary are located in the horizontal direction. Horizontal direction, that means this direction. This like direction is the horizontal direction. Then ovary are mainly consist of the two parts. The inner portion is known as medulla and outer portion is known as cortex. That means this portion is the inner portion. Inner portion of ovary is known as medulla. These medulla should consist of the lymphatics. These medulla portions should consist of the lymphatics, blood vessels and nerve. These lymphatics, blood vessels and nerve are entered to the ovary through a space. This space is known as mesovarium. This space is known as mesovarium. The inner portion of ovary is known as medulla and this outer portion, outer portion of ovary is known as cortex. Outer portion of ovary is known as cortex. Then further we can discuss about the cortex. That means within the cortex portion of ovary, certain types of ovarian follicles and primary oocytes are present. These type of structure, certain types of primary oocytes are present within the cortex of ovary. Then this like structure is the primary oocytes. These primary oocytes are surrounding covered by a follicular cell layer. This layer is the follicular cell layer. In squamous shape that means in flat shape, in flat direction. These are the primary oocytes. And these primary oocytes are covered by a follicular cell layer. This structure is known as primordial follicle. This structure is known as primordial follicle. Now, these primordial follicles are converted into the early primary follicles. Like that, this like structure, this is the primary oocytes covered by a layer of the follicular cell, and within these layer proliferation should be occur, and these layer are converted into the tall and columnar cells. Now this stage is known as early primary follicle. That means in primordial follicles, primary oocytes are surrounding covered by the follicular cells. These follicular cells are flat direction. Flat, that means squamous direction. And in later stage is the early primary follicles. In this stage, these follicular cells are become proliferation, and these follicular cells become tall and columnar shape. That means column-like shape. Now, this stage is known as early primary follicles. Then in later stage, these early primary follicles are converted into the primary follicles. That means This is the primary oocytes surrounding covered by a follicular cell layer. In this stage, proliferation should be occur of these layer and single layer are converted into the multiple layer. These single layer convert into the multiple layer. Now these multiple layer are known as membrana granulosa. Now this layer is known as membrana granulosa, and this stage is known as early secondary follicle. That means early primary follicle stage convert into the early secondary follicles after the proliferation of these cells. This layer is the single layer, and after the proliferation, that means development of this single layer, these single layer are converted into the multiple layer. Multiple layer, that means more than one layer. Now these stages are known as early secondary follicles. Then after, in later stage, these early secondary follicles are converted into the secondary follicles. That means like this. This is the primary oocytes. Primary oocytes are covered by the layer, and space are formed between these layers. This is the secondary oocytes. Secondary follicle. In early secondary follicles, multiple layer are converted, single layer are converted into the multiple layer. In secondary follicle stage, a space are formed between these layers. That means space. This is space like this, like this. This is space like this. This is space. A space are formed between these multiple layers in the secondary follicle stage. Then after, next stage is the tertiary follicles. Then after, next one is the secondary follicle are converted into the tertiary follicles. That means this is the primary oocytes surrounding covered by a layer, and then the small space are converted into the large space like this, like this. The small space are converted into the large space, and all cells are united on a particular direction and particular way. This like structure is the tertiary follicle stage. That means in secondary follicular stage, in secondary follicle stage, small space are present. In tertiary follicular stage, these small space are converted into a large space, and all cells are united in a particular direction. Now this stage is known as tertiary follicle. Tertiary follicles, tertiary follicular stage. Then after, the meiosis first cell division are complete within these stages, and the primary oocytes are converted into the secondary oocytes, and a polar body are also formed, and now the Graafian follicles are become totally mature. At the day of 14, of menstrual cycle, due to effects of LH surge. LH surge, that means luteinizing hormone, which are secreted by the gonadotropin cells of the anterior pituitary glands. Due to effect of LH surge, these mature Graafian follicles become ruptured and release secondary oocytes. release secondary oocytes due to effect of LH surge after the rupture of the mature Graafian follicles. That means at the day of 14, secondary oocytes are released after rupture of the tertiary follicles or rupture of the mature Graafian follicles. Then when due to effect of LH surge, mature Graafian follicles are ruptured, secondary oocytes are released. That means ovulation should be occur at the day of 14 due to effect of LH hormone, luteinizing hormone. Then the remaining structure of Graafian follicles after the rupture, the remaining structures of Graafian follicles is known as carpus luteum. This structure is known as carpus luteum. These are responsible for release of the progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormones. Then these carpus luteum are become mature and have a large structure in next 10 days and release progesterone hormones. Then after the 10 days, these carpus luteum are converted into the carpus albicans. Carpus albicans after the degeneration of shrinkage. That means this carpus luteum should be formed by the rupture of the mature Graafian follicles after the release of the secondary oocytes. These carpus luteum should be responsible for release of the progesterone hormone. These carpus luteum become mature and proliferate for next further 10 days and release of the progesterone hormone. After 10 days, the degeneration and shrinkage occur of these carpus luteum and these carpus luteum convert into the carpus albicans. Carpus albicans are also known as white body and these carpus luteum are also known as yellow body.